G'day guys, Mac with the Outer Circle, and today we are looking at the last Heresy event for 1.0 in Australia that I know of. Preferred Enemy. So, just doing a bit of a walk around at the table here while I talk about it. It was an incredibly fun event. There was some beautiful armies there, as you'll see, just some gorgeous armies. This one in particular was one of note. So was this one here. And yeah, just the love and care that went into them. Oh, it's the part I love most about the hobby. Now, another good thing was, of course, all my friends were there, old army mates and that kind of thing, rocked up. Tim and Michael from the Eye of Horus podcast, good friends of ours, and let's just say a few beers were consumed. It was a fantastic event. Just finishing on a high like that was great. And the only downside for me was I felt a bit dirty because the army I used for the event was Demons of the Ruinstorm. And it turns out most people don't know what to do against Demons of the Ruinstorm. The only one who had sort of a decent clue was Tim, but the mission didn't really work in his favour regarding what to do against me. So when I fought against most of the players, everyone charged me. And they charged me in turn 1 and 2. That's the last time you want to be charging Demons of the Ruinstorm in a game. Because essentially in turn 1 and 2, you're +1 strength, +1 toughness. I was creeping Scourge. I ended up all throughout pretty much with the Warlord trait that gave me rerollable Feel No Pain and It Will Not Die on the Warlord. It's just, hideous. Hideous. And with Creeping Scourge, you've got Miasma of Rot, so -1 toughness on enemy units and -1 armor facings on their vehicles. So all throughout the day, people were just throwing models at me, and I was just doubling them out on toughness with a lot of the high strength on my monstrous creatures. And it was only sort of, really Tim, who he survived the entire game against me. Everyone else just got tabled because unfortunately what they did was they ran in early and all their stuff was just getting instantly killed, whereas Tim was patient enough to wait out as best he could the game turns, and then I started getting weaker and weaker, as goes with Demons of the Ruinstorm. And unfortunately for him, it just wasn't enough because you're dropping units that are like toughness 5, toughness 6, they're going down to toughness 2, toughness 3 at the end of the game, as opposed to the start. But trying to Samus's butt. It was an ongoing joke. Samus has a tight butt. It was an ongoing thing, people would not wait them out so that they got weaker and could be instant killed by things like bolt guns, assault cannons, autocannons. And so what was happening was they were having to try and just take wounds off of monstrous creatures just with power fists, which works, but you need an awful lot of them because when you charge them at the portals, you got a 5-up rerollable invul save, then you're following that up with a 5+ Feel No Pain, or you're regenerating wounds with It Will Not Die. There's a lot of things happening there, and obviously the smaller demons, lesser demons, demon beasts, demon cavalry, demon swarms, they've all got Feel No Pain. So if you do manage to get a wound through, they're often getting a reroll it, or in the case of the Ruinstorm Ward, potentially rerolling on rerolls, which is insane. So as I said, fun, awesome event. This is just the quick recap. Kat has a bunch of stuff coming up for the event. Obviously, my footage here will be nowhere near as nice as his footage of the event, but this is just something for me to talk over while I chat with you guys about the event. Will 2.0 have these sort of events? Yes, it definitely will. So, as you can see, these events really highlight people converting the hell out of their armies, fully painted armies as well. Okay, some hobbyists are clearly superior to others, let's not lie to ourselves, but it's not the point. Nobody here is going in and judging people and going, it's a crap army, this person sucks. No, everyone's just going in there and saying, wow, how good are some of these armies? That's what you want at an event, and it was just great to see. Like, everyone cared, everyone had fun, and I guess I'm gushing a bit about it, but it's what I like about the hobby. And you can see the Heresy event mindset, very different here compared to, say, Europe, and it's very different to 40k, because just look at the units. Everything is so lavishly painted and so much attention to detail. Like Kieran's army there, one of my favourites. Awesome hobbyist too. This is one of the armies who was unfortunate enough to play against me, and again, he had some excellent units in there, but by throwing them all in on turn 1 and at my portals, I was just able to instant kill so many of those Terminators. This army here actually scored the best general for the Loyalists. It was an Alpha Legion force, and he got a lot of points. So I got best general for the traitors, and I didn't feel like I deserved it. So I said to the TO, look, what we'll do, give that award to someone, like, give the prize to someone else. It was a Forge World voucher was the prize. So give it to someone who's worked for it, earned it, because I feel like I haven't earned it, and besides, I've got enough, miniatures in the backlog anyway, as you would have seen on this channel, so many ideas. I don't need more stuff from Forge World. So that's the plan going forward there, and I think the TO is happy to do that. So he'll pick out someone, I said, look, pick someone who's deserving, maybe hasn't got the money to build up the force of their dreams, but they have the passion. Give that person the voucher. Let's sponsor someone in the community in that regard, and hopefully it works out well. Yeah, so overall, fun time. We played 4 games, 2 each day, with a nice big break in the middle. We had trivia on Saturday night, along with many, many beers, which were consumed. We didn't do super well in the trivia from memory. I think we came like 2nd or 3rd last out of like 5 teams or so. Didn't do terrible either, but the top teams, let's just say they memorized way too much stuff, and it was mostly the Siege of Terra novels and that, where they scored their points, I think, whereas we don't really care for the Siege of Terra, so we haven't really memorized it. So we called it, people were calling us the Eye of Circle, because it was the Eye of Horus podcast and us, and Kat went out, partied all night on the Friday night, because he hadn't been to Melbourne in ages, came in completely wasted Saturday morning, just sleep wasted, not intoxicated, and played games all day, did the trivia night, and then Danny made him do another all-night session. So Kat went without sleep pretty much for 2 straight nights and was just running on empty going into this. And I think Tim and Michael dragged him to Jurassic Park Dominion afterwards. So he's in great condition, I imagine, at this point in time. Yeah, Adam, good friend of mine, really awesome work on these word bearers. They're really starting to come along. It's great to see, because I know he really fights with just getting the project done, because he holds himself to such high standards. I can never turn around to say to people like, oh, just get it done, just get it painted. It doesn't work like that, You're setting goals for yourself, and you've got to be happy with them. You can't force yourself to do things you don't want to, and I totally get where he's coming from. This Iron Hands player, another person unfortunate enough to play against me. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Hard mission for him, because he essentially had to start with half his force at each end of the table, and all my demons spawn in the middle, and I was able to send a lot of it just in one direction and eat everything. But he also, what few units he did have, he charged them in turn 1, which just don't do it, guys. Hopefully that's not a thing in Heresy 2.0. Yeah, just good all-round stuff here. Patrick's army there, Custodes, lots of thought in it. This army here is actually converted Thunder Warriors army by Nick, and it's a nice little army, very heavily customized and converted, and cool little camouflage patterns and such on it, representing Thunder Warriors, and he uses them as Black Shields rules. Anyway, that's all from me. See you on the next one, guys.